Thanks for stopping by. I'm so happy you're here. Today I'm going to make candied bacon and scallion deviled eggs. They are amazingly delicious because one, they're deviled eggs, but two, they have bacon in them. They're a great appetizer for any type of event, holidays, parties, and they're just good to make and snack on too. So it's not a very involved recipe. It's pretty easy, but it does have a few steps. And one of the first steps is to candy the bacon. Now you're probably asking, what does that mean? Well, we're gonna kind of make the bacon really sweet like candy. I have my bacon on a cooling rack in a sheet pan. It's all gonna go in the oven this way because we want the air to get up on the underside of the bacon as well as on the top. And in this bowl, I have some brown sugar, just a pinch of cayenne, and a pinch of cinnamon. If you would like your candied bacon to be a little bit spicier, you can use more cayenne. I don't, so I didn't. So I'm going to take a little bit of it with my fingers, and I'm going to sprinkle it on each slice of bacon. Now, we're going to do this again after it cooks for about 10 minutes in the oven, so don't use all that you have in your bowl. And once you get it sprinkled on, you can kind of spread it out some. Okay, I'm spreading it out a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to get this in the oven. We're going to cook for 10 minutes. We're going to flip the bacon and add more of the brown sugar on top and cook for another 10 minutes. I already have the eggs started. They're in the pan waiting for it to boil. Once they come to a boil, I will turn it down to low for 14 minutes, and then the eggs will be done and ready to peel. And by then, the bacon should be done as well. Okay, 10 minutes has gone by, and the bacon's been cooking on the one side. It's looking pretty good. I'm going to pull it out, shut the door. Now I'm going to flip the bacon, and then I'm going to add the rest of the brown sugar to this side of the bacon. Okay, now we're going to put it back in the oven for about 10 minutes. That looks wonderful. Perfect. Exactly the way it's supposed to. The eggs will be done soon, and then we'll get them peeled, and then we'll get these deviled eggs made. At about a minute or two left on the cooking time, I like to pull one out and test it to make sure that it actually is the doneness level that I want. So I've got my one egg. I'm cooling it off a little. Gonna crack it and peel it. Okay, I'll slice him in half and see what he, now see, that is a perfectly cooked egg. It's the perfect color. It's not too dark. You don't see undercooked in the middle. And if you did see a ring around the outside, that means you overcooked your eggs. Not, I mean, they're not gonna kill you if you eat them, but it's not a pretty presentation if you were just serving hard-boiled eggs. And it also usually you'll put a little bit of a ring on the white too, so it doesn't make for good deviled eggs. Okay, so I'm gonna get all the eggs out of the pan, cooled, and I'm gonna do some peeling. Eggs are done, they're peeled, all is good. Peeling eggs, not my favorite thing, but these cooperated quite nicely. I find that the fresher the egg, the easier to peel. I think I've said in another video, I've tried a gazillion different tips and tricks, and there is no magic bullet. You just got to peel and deal. Peel and deal, I like that. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we are going to mince the bacon. It's really important, all of the ingredients, and I'll go through some of the other ones that are in the sauce. You need to be a very fine chop or a very fine mince because we got to pipe these into the eggs, and if the pieces are too big, they'll get stuck, and it's just not good, trust me. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut this as small as I can. And then we're going to get into a really fine chop or mince. Now, because this is candied, it is sticky, so it's going to be a little more challenging to get this to be a nice fine chop. Okay, so we're all chopped nice and fine. I don't think I have any too big of pieces here. Get that into a bowl. We're going to use that in a minute. Now it's time for the eggs. Now here's the egg that I sliced earlier, so I'm going to get it's been sitting here, so it'll be a little more challenging to get the yolk out and get it into this bowl. And then I'm going to put it in my handy dandy Rubbermaid egg holder, which I absolutely love. You can get this if you go to the website. I'll have the link below, but if you go to the website, there is a kitchen gear section, and almost everything that we use, there's a link there for it. What's wonderful about these is they're also portable. They come with a lid. It's the best way to transport deviled eggs for sure. Okay, so now I'm going to slice all these. What I like to do when I slice them is in between, I at least like to wipe my knife because I'm a little OCD about having any of the yolk on the edges because I want a nice presentation. So I'm going to go through, put the yolk in this bowl and the whites here in the pan. Okay, we're on the home stretch. I have all the yolks in the bowl, all the whites in the container here. I've got 4 extra eggs because this container only holds 20 eggs and 20 halves of eggs, and I cook 12, which is good because that means I get the taste. And then if you happen to have an egg or two that doesn't peel well and is kind of ugly, I had one of those, so that's going to be in my tasting. So now I'm going to go in here and mash the egg yolks as small as I can with a fork. Kind of a brute force type thing. Now you could put them in a food processor and pulse them, but that would work well, but I think that's a bit of overkill. I kind of like doing it this way. Gets a little exercise on the arm as well. Almost all done. I'll have a few stubborn ones, so I'll get in here and kind of squish them with my fingers. They just don't want to get to be small and crumbly. And so I'm feeling through here to see if I have any big pieces. As we go through the mixing process, some of the bigger pieces, and I can't even call them bigger, they're just not as small, they will reduce in size as we mix. The yolks are ready to be married with all the other delicious ingredients. So I've got mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is in. Very finely chopped dill. I'm going to put most of this in. I'm going to save some for garnish, which I put too much in. I'll do more garnish. It's fine. Very, very finely chopped minced scallions. Whole grain mustard. Apple cider vinegar. Worcestershire. And now I'm going to mix. The bacon's going in here, but I want to mix here to make sure I don't need any more mayonnaise. And it really all depends on how big your yolks are. I'm looking at this and I think I'm going to put a little more mayonnaise in here. I've got the mayonnaise out. I'm going to put, I think about that much should do me. Let me mix that up. So don't worry if it looks a little dry and you need more mayonnaise. Like I said, if you have big yolks, you're going to have more, so you're going to need more mayonnaise. It's all good. I almost forgot my secret ingredient is just a smidgen of fish sauce. There, that's all it needs. It's going to give it a umami flavor. I know it sounds scary. Fish sauce, you're putting fish sauce in deviled eggs, but trust me, I put it in almost everything, and it just gives a more depth of flavor to all the other ingredients. Okay, mayonnaise, that's good. Now I'm going to get the bacon in here, and I cook a little bit extra bacon because I like to munch on it, and I also want some for garnish, so I'm not putting it all in. I'm going to put a little in, mix it up, see what my distribution is, and then I'll decide if I want to put some more in. Yeah, I'm going to put some more in. Okay, I'm liking that distribution a lot. I am going to switch out my whisk for a spoon. Okay, now we're going to fill the cake decorator. I use a little spoon so I can actually get it in here. It can be kind of a messy process, but what's cooking if you don't make a mess? I like to use the widest tip that I can find in my kit that has quite a few different ones because I want to get as much out as I can, and it's got a bit of a scalloped edge, which I like the look that gives. So I'm gonna put, ooh, there we go. Okay. I'm gonna squeeze it in there. I kind of start at the bottom and move up as it fills. I like to get a fair amount in here. Don't be shy with the filling. And you may have to refill this twice. I think I'm probably going to have to. Garnish is really important. The presentation is important for the person that wants to eat your food. So you want to have a very pretty presentation. If you didn't garnish at all, these look pretty good, but I definitely want to garnish. So I am going to add a little bit of candied bacon that I left over to each of these. Try to get them on and I have a paper towel nearby because I'm going to need to keep my fingers clean as I get too close to the egg and possibly touch the filling, which I seem to always do, which is fine. So the next garnish component is going to be some finely chopped dill. Oh, how pretty. These look so pretty. Okay, I have just enough for my testers over here. One more garnish. I have paprika here, and you could shake it on. I don't like to do that. I like to have some control, so I've got it between my finger and my thumb, and I'm barely putting any on. You can put as much as you want. I like just a little, sprinkling on over here, over each one. So if you're going to a party and this is what you're bringing, you just put the lid on and you take it and go. When you get to the party, you can decide to serve it out of this or put it on a different serving tray. Either works. I just absolutely love these for their portability, that's for sure. Okay, now it's time to taste. I can't wait. I am going to pick the biggest one, of course, and I'm going all in. Oh. Oh my God, that is so good. The little bit of sweetness that the candied bacon brings mixes so well with the mustard in the egg and the mayonnaise. The dill brings a nice herbaceousness to it, a brightness. Oh my God, this is so good. I gotta have another one. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you make this, take it to a party, and everybody goes, oh my God, what is in those deviled eggs? Because I think you're gonna get that reaction. A link to the full recipe is in the description below, or you can find it at gfexplorers.com. And until next time, happy eating.